As we drove by the first time I took my wife out here, they were all cattle. The road was gravel and it was all cattle. And I said, down here we could have a golf course. Yeah, right, she said.
My first memory of Willis is with a corncob pipe. He used to smoke a corncob pipe a long time ago. And back in 1976, I knew very little of him, and I don't even know if he remembers I worked for him in '76, because I was just back in the office and he was out doing road projects. And I'd see him come back and forth. I left them in 1977 after I'd been with them about a year and a half because I wanted to pursue a career as a CPA. And after I had gotten that and worked in two different CPA firms, I said to my wife one day, I wished that I had first done my CPA work and then went to work for the Dunnings, because that's been the best employer I've had of all three. And then shortly after that, believe it or not, one of the office managers there, Phil Erfmeyer, called and said that they were starting this place out in South Dakota called Hart Ranch. And it was a campground, and that was an industry I was very interested in because it was outdoors, and I love the outdoors. And I interviewed with Norm Dunning, Willis's brother, and was offered the position and came in April of '84.
Yeah, it had been a working cattle ranch when the Dunning family purchased it, and portions of it still were. And then they started building a 195-acre camping resort in the middle of that, and also the arena.
At the time, our company was very restricted in what it could do. We were in the highway and heavy construction and in the Midwest, Minnesota, so our season was very short. And each year, we ended up completely out of work. So then the question is, would we get some for the next year? And we felt we should diversify. And we did two or three other things, and then this ranch was brought to us. And that's when we started to get excited about what it could be, because we were believing that a camping resort would offer people affordable vacations and could bring families together.
Started part-time in the summer of 1984, and then I went full-time in October of 1984. Well, it was very busy and very new.
We knew how to build, man. We bought this thing in November, and we had virtually had it built for sale in June of the next year. So we knew how to build. We didn't know anything about selling or how to package the product.
It was very exciting to see it happen, but the reality also sets in after it's been built, and then you have to make it work. And that took a lot of energy, a lot of people, and it took some very sound leadership on Willis's part to keep the boat afloat.
But the big redeeming factor for me was I knew that it was a value-packed product for them. Great value, and I knew that.
But it was very fun. It was very fun to be on the ground floor of a company, and it was very exciting. It was a business that nobody around here really knew that much about, so everything was new for all of us.
In the early years, we actually lived on the campground during the summers as I was a resort manager and dealt with the daily activities. And it definitely caught the attention of the campground industry back in the '80s because it was a first-class camping resort.